Hey, Don Thornton, and we're going to jump right into this topic, seller finance notes. And as you should know by now, if you watch my videos and you know anything about me, you know that I'm all about street investing. I'm not talking about, pie in the sky guru stuff about what could work or whatever. This is about what actually does work. Okay. So I'm doing a property right now, and this is a note that we have here. So I'll show you what it is. So basically, I have agreed to buy this property at $60,000. Now they're going to give me a $5,000 seller note, and they're going to get $55,000 as their for a cash settlement. Not a settlement, but I'm paying $55,000 cash. The remaining five is on a note. Now, why would I go through the motions of a note? Well, it saves me $500 because my money costs me when I go to my money people, they charge 10%. So I'm saving $500 by having them do a note. Even though actually it's $400 because the interest will be $100, but whatever, that's fine. So that's why I did it that way. You just always try to squeeze as much as you can out and still be reasonable. So just so you know, I'm going to put this up here. So I've got a quick claim deed all set to go. So, it's between them and myself, $10, legal ID, tax folio ID. They're going to sign here, notary here, and that's how I'm going to take title. Now, I will tell you this. Normally, I would take my properties into a Florida land trust. The reason why I'm not doing that this time is because the seller is 85 years old, and you don't want to get too complicated with a bunch of forms that might scare the guy off. So in this situation, it's just better to do a cash deed. I mean, excuse me, a quick claim deed. There's no mortgage on it. It's clean. It's one page, well, two pages. The second page is the notary page, but whatever. So anyway, that's how we're doing this. So we're gonna go through. I'll show you how we're doing it. So this was created by my title company's attorney, and we had the property address, right here, and then this is the promise to pay $5,000. These are the homeowners, and then they charge me 2% interest on this. So I have 6 months to pay it off. So basically, on a note of 5,000, the payoff amount the 2% would be $100, so $5,100. Okay, so it's a balloon note, so there's no monthly payments. And I do have the right to prepay without a penalty, which is good. Although again, this little amounts doesn't matter. So that's good. Okay, so then basically, just the typical BS about how this is going to work. All the stuff about the notes and all that stuff, blah 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 blah. And so then all I do then tomorrow is I will just sign and have it witnessed, and this will be recorded. This will be recorded in the county. So that's really how that works. Um, you know, when I first started negotiating with them, my offer was to pay them $50,000 cash, and they wanted 60. So I came back and said, okay, if you want more, I can give you I can give you more if you agree to some terms. So they said, what are your terms? I said, well, why don't we just do this? Why don't we just do a 60,000 100% financing note? And they didn't want to do that. They went back. We went back and forth a number of times. They are not motivated in this of a normal sense. Okay, he's 85 years old. They own it free and clear. They live in a nice house. They're not doing bad financially. So I felt like even getting it at that price was good because I mean, I'm not. This is not going to be a home run. There's lots of issues with the property. I think that under the circumstances, I'm doing this because they have a second house they want to sell to me that I can squeeze them a little bit more. So I'm kind of taking a step back and making a little bit less on this property because I want to make more on the other property, which is better. Okay. So, but they're just they want to sell their properties. They want to sell their properties because he's getting older, like I said, 85 years old, and which is fine. I'm just saying though that it's not a foreclosure situation. They don't have a tax situation. They're not your typical distressed seller. They just want to get rid of it for cash, and they understand the condition of the property and that cash is a lower price. So we were able to come to an agreement on the price. I would have still prefer to get it at 50,000, but whatever. We'll get. I don't think I'm gonna get hurt on this, so I'm not too worried about that. So, but this note is basically now I have a template that I can use for future deals. So all I would have to do here, let's say for example, if 2 weeks from now someone wants to do 100% financing and they'll give it to me for $100,000, then all I have to do is just come here and do that. Okay, $100,000, and then all I would do here is just come over to the total balance would be 100, and the payoff amount with 2% would be 2,000. So it'd be 100, 100, and 2,000. That's how that would be. Okay, so you just change it around, and then everything else is the same, right? I mean, you just have to change the address of the property. So just change that, change this right here, change this down here, and there you go. And obviously you'll change the date, the payoff date, but that's how easy it is. And it's all about negotiating. Remember, when they talk about, well, what do you want for your terms, you just tell them, look, my terms are always the same. I'd like for you to give it to me for free. And they'll laugh at it, and then they'll say, well, what are your, and so my next thing is, I prefer that you let me give you a note, a mortgage on it, and I'll pay you off in full in 6 months once I rehab the property. So that's where you start, and then you move your way towards the middle, right? So they're going to be down here saying, well, I want full retail price cash, right? And I want you to give it to me for free. And the whole negotiation process is to get it down somewhere in the middle where it works for you and it works for them. Obviously, the more distressed situation they're in, then you can negotiate a better deal. But under the circumstances, this is the deal. This is how you use a note. I will have a copy of this as a template for everybody in my group that can, who's on my team Thornton. They get access to all of my stuff. So, that's how you use a seller finance note. Thanks.